Sarah from Malaysia, but I moved to San Diego when I was a baby. Before I go on with my story, please like and subscribe. When I was a month old, I immigrated to America with my mom, my aunt, and my cousin Muna. My mom and my aunt were both single moms living in poverty. They wanted Muna and me to have a better life in the States. Muna and I were really close.
We're gonna build the biggest castle in the world, and no dragons will get in.
But when I was 6 years old, my aunt married a billionaire. She and Muna moved away, and we never heard from them again. I missed Muna so much, and Mom and I were still barely getting by. But Mom was the most optimistic lady ever, for one reason. When I was in kindergarten, the school psychologist told her I was born with a gifted brain. According to Mom, that meant I was the door to a brighter future for us. Oh, Sarah, you'll be the first daughter in our family to go to college. I'm going to buy you a kit with medical toys.
But can you play pirates with me first?
Yes, I'll play pirates with you. But first, I'm buying you a medical kit. From that day on, Mom was determined to help me develop my gifts. She signed me up for book clubs, advanced tutoring, foreign language classes. I never got to do anything fun. Your 20 minutes of TV time is up. Time for spelling flashcards. By the time I was in high school, I was exhausted. I didn't have the guts to tell Mom that, but then I discovered a new interest. Mom, can I take piano lessons? No, Sarah. Musicians end up homeless. When I was your age, I'd already dropped out of school and had to work as a cleaning girl. You have an opportunity to live a better life than I did. This is why you must study hard and use your gifts well. I saw so much fire in Mom's eyes. I just couldn't let her down because making her happy meant everything to me. One day I was at school when the teacher announced we had a new student. Class, this is Muna from Carmel Mountain. I almost fell back in my seat. It was Muna. I thought I'd never see her again. And she looked so different, wearing heavy makeup and dressed head to toe in designer clothes. By the end of class, everyone was already fawning all over Muna. Where did she get that handbag? That girl should be on a throne. I pushed past the kids gathered around her. I was just so excited she was here. Muna, it's me, Sarah. I go to school here too. Oh, Sarah. I see you're still wearing those turtlenecks your mom makes you. She knows how nerdy they make you look, right? Muna walked away before I could reply and ignored me for the rest of the day. I felt hurt. Wasn't Muna happy to see me? I told Mom about it when I got home, but she didn't seem surprised. Goodness knows how my sister is raising that girl. My sister is the worst. She married a billionaire and never gave me a penny. Lucky for me, I have a brilliant daughter who will be successful and not poor like me. Mom hugged me and I prayed I'd be just as successful as she wanted me to. I avoided Muna at school after that, even though I still wanted to be close with her again. Then one day, Mom and I were at the mall when suddenly, someone in a black mask came up behind Mom and snatched her purse. I ran after the thief, catching and tackling him to the floor. I ripped off his mask, but to my shock, the thief was Muna. Sarah, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize your mom from behind. Please, don't call the cops. I don't want my mom finding out. What is your deal? Why are you going around robbing people? You don't understand. I have no choice, so don't judge me, okay? I have every right to judge my rich cousin who is going around stealing money. Tell me what's going on, or I will tell on you. Fine. Look, I'm having a party Friday night. If you want to come, I'll explain everything to you there. Muna pulled out her phone and handed it to me. Type in your address and I'll pick you up. I was still furious at Muna for stealing my mom's purse and for how she treated me at school. But I was dying of curiosity to know why she was stealing. I left Muna with my address just as Mom walked towards me. I lied and said the cops had caught the thief, and I didn't tell Mom about Muna. I knew at that moment I'd have to go to the party in secret. So on Friday evening, I told Mom I was sick and I wanted to go to sleep early. I had to be super careful. Soon enough, I got a text from Muna. She was outside my house. I took a deep breath and went with Muna. And when we got to the party, I couldn't believe my eyes. We were inside an underground auditorium, crowded with celebrities and people wearing red carpet clothes. And in the corner was a giant marble piano. I walked over to look at it. It was beautiful. Muna, what's this piano doing here? But Muna didn't answer. Instead, I turned around to see her hugging some random guy. Babe, your concert is gonna be amazing. My boyfriend is so talented. I went up to her and pulled her aside. Wait, so this whole party is just a concert for your boyfriend? Yes, my boyfriend who my mom hates. But he is a super talented pianist and I want to support him. Muna, did you steal money for this? Not all of it. It's mostly my savings, but yeah, I ran a bit short. What kind of witch had my cousin become? I can't believe you'd do something so sick. My mom was right about you. You've become a horrible person. I stormed out of the auditorium before Muna could answer. And standing there on the sidewalk was Mom. I felt like I was gonna throw up. Mom, I was just here to see a friend. It was nothing. Before I could finish my sentence, Muna came up behind me, and Mom's jaw dropped. It was you. You dragged your cousin to an underground party, even though you knew she was ill. Knowing your mother, it makes perfect sense you'd be a terrible influence. Mom went ballistic at Muna, and I was glad. She deserved it. But when Mom drove me home that night, I learned everything in my life was about to change. Sarah, I'm going to start homeschooling you for a while. You need to refocus on your future. I've scheduled tutoring sessions for college preparation and advanced classes for... Mom went on and on. She was creating a whole new schedule for my life. I was feeling tingly and fiery all over. And suddenly, I started itching like crazy. Soon enough, I had red bumps and rashes all over my body. I asked Mom to take me to the doctor. Oh, Sarah, you have hives. I think I know what's going on. You're stressed, aren't you? I guess I'm a little stressed with Muna probably traumatized you. I'll call my grandmother and see what herbs she recommends. I wanted to tell Mom that it was her who was stressing me out. The next day, I went into the front yard, and standing right there was Muna. I know you don't want to see me, but I want to talk to you. I came to apologize for everything. I don't get it. Why would you steal money just to throw a concert for your boyfriend? Sarah, you probably don't remember because we were really little, but my mom's always been controlling and telling me how to live my life. I just wanted to rebel. Was it my imagination or did my aunt sound similar to Mom? Also, I'm sorry I was mean to you at school. I was trying to be loyal to my mom because I guess our moms don't like each other that much. But I don't want to fight with you. Why don't we just start over then? And leave our moms out of it. Muna agreed, and I felt like a weight had been lifted off my chest. I told Mom I was going for a run and went with Muna to her house. And when I went into Muna's living room, my jaw dropped. She had the same marble piano from the concert. At that moment, I decided to tell Muna my dream to play piano. You can practice here at my house.
Are you kidding me? That would be amazing!
So from that day on, I went to Muna's house secretly to teach myself piano, only when my aunt wasn't home. Soon enough, I was good enough to perform a recital. Muna and I combined our savings and booked it. But 2 days before the show, Mom dropped a bombshell on me. We're going to Malaysia to see your great-grandma. After I told her about your hives, we got to talking and she wants to see us. I was gonna miss my recital for a stupid family trip that Mom had planned without even asking me? I felt my blood boiling, but I couldn't make myself speak. I went to Muna's house in a panic and told her what happened. I don't get it. Just tell your mom the truth and don't go to Malaysia. It's that simple. But this is a family trip and it's important to her that I go. Can't you understand that? What I do understand is that your mom is just like my mom. She's a control freak who doesn't care about anyone but herself. My mom's given up her whole life for me. Her needs mean more to me than anything. I left before Muna could answer as I tried to bury my anger. And I went to the airport with Mom the night of my recital, and I didn't say a word to her. But suddenly, in the airport line, my skin started tingling again, and I started itching all over. Oh no, your hives are back. Let me get the medicine. At that moment, I knew the hive medicine wouldn't be enough. Before I knew what I was doing, I grabbed the medicine from Mom's hand and dashed towards the parking lot. Mom yelled and ran after me, but I got into a taxi before she could catch me. I was heading to my recital, and I wasn't letting her stop me. I arrived just in time for my performance, and when I played my piece, the audience was blown away. But then in the front row, I saw Mom. She just stood there, completely silent. I went over to her after the show. I don't even know who you are anymore. You, young lady, are coming to the airport with me this instant. Mom took both my arms and tried to drag me away, but something inside me burst. I'm not going to Malaysia with you, Mom. I'm sick of you trying to control my life. I'm not a baby anymore. Sarah, you're behaving like an ungrateful brat after everything I've done for you. Mom yanked my arms harder, but I pulled back, and to my horror, we tumbled, hitting the ground. Everyone around us gasped and started gathering around Mom. I hadn't meant to push Mom, but now she was being rushed to the hospital. What had I done? At that moment, Muna came up to me. Sarah, I just saw what happened. I have to go to the hospital now to check on her. Muna, I can't believe I did that. I was just so mad, but it was an accident. I'll go with you to the hospital, but you did the right thing by standing up to your mom. Remember that, okay? When we got there, I found out Mom had broken her ankle, but it was nothing serious. As soon as Mom saw me, I ran to hug her. Mom, I'm so sorry. You know I didn't hurt you on purpose, right? I know that, sweetheart. I know I can be overbearing at times. That's how your aunt and I were raised. It's all we've known. But I have to make my own decisions. I love playing piano. Also, I know you and Aunt have your differences, but I like Muna, and I'm gonna keep hanging out with her. Sweetie, I'm not going to lie and say I agree with all of your choices, but in the end, your happiness is the most important to me. Your performance was beautiful, darling. I love you, Sarah. I love you too. Hey friends, I'm Esmeralda. I live in a small town in northern Spain. Please like and subscribe. The day I was born, my dad was shocked to see that I had a patch of white hair right in the center. Let me see her. Oh wow, my mom had a white patch too. We've been blessed by Mother Nature. My mom was so different from other moms. She was very superstitious and into exploring the healing power of nature. To protect me from the evil eye, she would cleanse the house with sage smoke and make me wear all types of charms. Well, my dad got sick of all this and left us when I was just 5. Because of Mom's beliefs and my white hair, the town folk were rather mean and called us witches. I always thought these people were so foolish because Mom was the nicest. She never seemed to be bothered by them, so I wasn't either. But things started to change in 7th grade, and I had a crush on a guy at school, Caleb. When I told Mom, she put a charm bracelet around my wrist. Oh, sweetie, take this for some extra luck and ask him out. But when I did, Caleb started laughing in my face. In your dreams, Grandma. Why would I like a freak? You could have just said a simple no, jerk. Oh God, have I made you angry? What you gonna do now? Ask Mommy to turn me into a frog? Or make some love potion for me? And I just saw red and attacked him. We were both sent to the principal's office and ended up in detention. You're such a witch. Oh yes I am. And you know what we do with people who know our secret? We curse them in their sleep. So I guess I'll see you tonight. The very next day, something bizarre happened. Caleb wasn't present, and his friend told everyone he'd gotten chicken pox. Suddenly, everyone was looking at me like I had something to do with it. Guess he should have gotten vaccinated. It was a joke, but the others didn't get it and started avoiding me like I had horns on my head. I was in a bad mood all the way home. Can't we just move away from this stupid place? I hate how people see us, Mom. What's important is how you see yourself. We don't run away from our problems, love. Easy for you to say. You don't have to go to school. I stomped out of the car as soon as we got home, when suddenly a ball of snow hit me in the head. It was Mom, and she was grinning at me. Before I knew it, we'd gotten into a snowball fight and we were lying in a heap laughing. Say it. You know you want to. Come on. Okay. You're the best mom ever. I could never be mad at Mom for too long, but soon I started losing the few friends I had because of Mom. She would either make them stupid charms or would do tarot card readings for them, and their parents really had a problem with that. Once at a parent-teacher meeting, Mom walked into the classroom and climbed onto the teacher's desk. The vibes in this room are so negative. Let me cleanse the aura first so we can have a positive, wholesome day. And then she closed her eyes and started chanting something, and everyone screamed and left the room. After that day, I became the school's official outcast. Why did Mom always have to be herself? I decided that things would be different in high school. I told Mom she didn't have to pick and drop me off anymore because I'd be taking the bus. I just wanted her to stay away from my school as much as possible. When I walked into the hallway on my first day, I heard some noise, and I saw a girl dressed as a goth holding Caleb by his collar. Don't mess with me, punk. You think you're really cool for making fun of me, huh? I'll make you scream for your mommy. When she let him go, I couldn't stop myself from clapping, and everyone stared at me. What? That was pretty awesome. Finally, someone showed him his place. I guess she's a witch just like you. Did you both go to the same summer camp for witches? Hey, shh. Do you hear that? It's the sound of me not caring about what you say. Seeing everyone laugh, Caleb looked like a ripe tomato. I'll get back at you both. And he stormed off. What a jerk. Yep, I can't believe I had a crush on him once. By the way, I'm Esmeralda. I'm Aria, and I love your hair, girl. You look like a rock star. OMG. It was the first time someone had complimented my hair, and I freaking loved it. We clicked instantly, and later that day, we even walked home together. We were going through a rich neighborhood, and I was shocked when she stopped in front of the most beautiful mansion on the street. Wow, her house was awesome. In school, Aria was fast becoming one of the most popular girls. Her dress sense was so cool, and she aced all subjects. She was like a beauty with brains. Since we'd become really good friends, I got a taste of what it felt like to be popular too, and I was rather enjoying it. But then one day, Mom came to school to pick me up unannounced. I so wanted to run away before Aria could see us, because if Mom met her, she would say or do something weird for sure. But it wasn't my lucky day. Aria spotted us and came over, and the two started talking. And then, Mom offered her a palm reading. Mom, can we please go? I don't think Aria is into that kind of stuff. No, I'm really curious. Your mom sounds awesome, and I'd love to know. Mom looked at her hand and then spoke. Yes, I see you have a tough life, but I also see something really positive here. Sweetheart, even with all the hardships, you'll make it big one day. Just trust that, okay? Aria was practically living in a mansion. Mom had it so wrong. Gosh, Mom, enough of this, please. No, it's fine. That was really nice. Thank you. Mom offered Aria a ride home, and when we stopped outside her house, Mom said, "Oh, this is where you live? I've come here several times because your mom buys my candles. She never mentioned she had kids, though." I guess she isn't so proud of me. Thanks for the ride. I gotta go. And before Mom could say anything else, Aria walked off and went inside. I wasn't quite sure what she meant by that, but I realized that she hardly ever talked about her parents. After that day, Aria and I grew closer, and she started coming over to my place for sleepovers too. She actually enjoyed Mom's company, and I finally had a friend who didn't find my mom weird. Things were going good, but my happiness was short-lived because just a few days later, I was performing a recital at school, and Mom burst into the auditorium looking panicked. "Esmeralda, you left the house without being blessed." Oh no. And then, Mom lit a roll of sage and jumped onto the stage, circling around me with smoke. That set off the smoke detectors, and we had fire alarms blaring and sprinklers going off everywhere. There was chaos in the entire school. Everyone was screaming and running. It was a wet mess, all because of Mom. Well, that was just a false alarm. Sorry, folks. Mom, are you completely crazy? You ruined everything. Everybody is staring at us now, and I'll be the butt of everyone's joke. Honey, aren't you overreacting a little? No one will even remember this incident by tomorrow. I'm overreacting? Gosh, Mom, you really don't get it. You do weird things and it puts people off, and no one here forgets. We'll just be hearing about this till the end of high school. Sometimes I wish you'd just be more normal. I regretted my words as soon as I saw the hurt look on her face, but I was too mad to apologize. And it was true. I'd had enough. When I went to school after the weekend, I could feel people looking at me. And then Caleb popped out of nowhere. Wow. Amazing that you can show your face after the stunt your psycho mom pulled off. off, jerk. And don't talk about her mom like that. She's 10 times the person you'll ever be. Yeah, 10 times crazier. Better crazy than a loser. Seriously, dude, no one cares about what you have to say. So why don't you just go and get a life? I was really grateful to have a friend like Arya on my side, but it was just her, because everyone else said and thought the same things as Caleb. I tried to ignore them, but at home, I also grew distant from Mom. I just wanted to be 18 and get out of this place, and maybe even from her. It was almost the end of the term, and we were busy preparing for the school's talent show. Arya and I had paired up for a dance-off, but during practice one day, we found out that our favorite music teacher was leaving soon. We all really wanted to get her a farewell gift, so the entire class pitched in money and gave it to the class monitor the next day. During recess, I realized I'd forgotten my lunch in the classroom, and when I went to go get it, I got the shock of a lifetime. Arya was taking out money from the class monitor's bag. Arya, what are you doing? Oh, I found it on the floor. It must have fallen out of her bag. I was only putting it back. Just then, Caleb suddenly walked in, and he started yelling at the top of his lungs. Oh my God, thieves! His yelling attracted some other kids, and he told them he'd caught us stealing the money red-handed. Ultimate jerk! We were both taken to the principal's office, and she called our moms, but only my mom showed up. Stealing? That's impossible. My girls could never do such a thing. I know my daughter, and I can also vouch for Arya. You better check that kid Caleb. He's always been trouble. And what a coincidence that he caught the girls. Mom took my hand and squeezed it gently, and my heart just melted. I've been such a jerk to her lately, but she was really the best person I knew. She then gently touched Arya's head, and all of a sudden, Arya started crying. What's wrong? I can't lie about this. I did steal the money earlier today when everyone went to gym class, but I realized I was so wrong. So during recess, I decided to put it back. That's when Esmeralda walked in, and then Caleb saw us. He didn't steal anything, and neither did she. It was me, and I am so sorry. What in the world? Before I could say anything, the principal sent me back to class. I didn't know what happened next, but when Arya didn't return, I decided to go to her place after school. But the lady there said Arya wasn't her daughter. She said Arya only came sometimes to mow the lawn. What? Luckily, the lady knew Arya's actual address and gave it to me. And when I got there, I found her sitting on the stairs. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Is this where you live? Gosh, who are you, Arya? And why have you been lying to me all along about living in that mansion? I never said that was my place. I just said I'll stop here. Esmeralda, even this isn't my home. I don't have a home. I'm a foster kid. But why didn't you tell me? And you always wear nice clothes and shoes. How did you manage? If you're thinking I steal regularly, I don't. I work part-time and I shop at thrift stores. And I only took the money this time to buy a costume for the talent show. It was wrong and so stupid. And I never told you about me because I didn't want to be pitied. I just wanted to fit in. I'm sorry. I sat next to Arya and hugged her, and I told her I loved her no matter what. If it wasn't for your mom, Esmeralda, I would have been expelled today. What? And then Arya told me how Mom convinced the principal to give her a second chance. As a result, she was just suspended for a week instead of being expelled. I swear, your mom is an angel. At that moment, I felt even worse about all the things I'd said to Mom. I ran home, and the moment I saw her, I hugged her tight. I'm such an idiot, Mom. I'm so sorry I was so awful to you. You know I love you, right? Yes, sweetheart, I know. On the day of the talent show, I was really nervous about dancing alone. But right when I was about to step on the stage, Arya appeared with Mom. You're here! And the hair looks awesome! Wow, I did the hair. And I'm here because your mom got me the dress and convinced the principal to let me participate. As the three of us hugged, we suddenly heard Caleb behind us. Oh my God, you aren't expelled? I'll have to take it up with the school board. Zip it, kid. When Mom turned and glared at Caleb, he suddenly stumbled on something and fell on his butt. You're all witches. When did I say we weren't?